Your basement is flooding. Virgos, I actually heard in Shang-Chi, which means flood. And I saw when I was touching and feeling the energy behind your cards, like a gutter with water flowing into it. So there's a sense of a flood. Maybe you guys are literally have a flood in your basement or whatever, but there's also a sense that there's a situation that's kind of out of your control completely, and you know this. Queen of Pentacles, you're like, well, there's nothing I can do but let this water flow into the gutter. It's a situation that kind of, and even if you look at the picture here of the star, it literally shows that. It shows like a stream of water. It's kind of, the star card is all about that. It's all about allowing for spirit to guide you and show you the way, even though the water might have its twists and turns down into the gutter, potentially. But it eventually comes out somewhere nice. It eventually goes through the gutter and comes out like in a nice river or whatever. So you're kind of realizing there's nothing I can do with regards to some aspect of your life. Could just be something that's going on at work or your home situation. And you're just like, well, I gotta just let this go where it's gonna go. Let's see what other cards there are. Yeah, you know, you're just, okay, so the next couple cards here, Seven of Wands and the Page of Swords, you're just doing whatever you can. That's the normal strategy. If your basement's flooded, you're buying the basement pump thing, you're putting the pump in there, and you're pumping out the water. You're just doing whatever you're supposed to do to deal with the situation that there's very little you can really control about it. You're managing it the best you can. That's managing to the best of your ability, but it's almost like, there's no way to completely fix it. And the Nine of Swords, I feel like you're trying to not stress out over it because the Nine of Swords came out after all these cards. You're trying to not let it stress you out because you know that it is what it is, and it's either your basement's gonna unflood when the river next door unfloods, and that's just a matter of time, and the water level going down, the water table's decreasing, or whatever the situation in your life just needs to play itself out. It needs to play itself out, and you might as well not stress about it. You're just going to do the basic things that you know you're supposed to do, but you're trying not to stress out about it. Okay, let's pull Oracle cards to see if we can find out some more. Actually, before that, on the bottom, we have the Three of Wands. It could be somebody else's basement is flooded, and you're giving them advice. And that's the reason why you're so removed and you're not really that as stressed out, is because you're just kind of advising someone else. So Three of Wands is like a third party. So that could be a situation for some of you, but let's go ahead and pull the Oracle card. Anything else here for Virgo? Okay, we got a card flipping here. Okay, so the next couple cards here, we've got the Wizard's Tower with the Eye and Cancer. This is all about being prepared for like a doomsday scenario. So maybe you guys are preparing for a flood, or maybe this is the metaphorical flood. Like you guys are preparing for something to go out of your control. You're seeing it coming, and you're preparing for it because you see it coming. So and you're preparing for it so that it doesn't hit you as hard as it hits everyone else. So either the flood has happened and you guys are just going with the flow of the flood, or you guys see the flood coming and you're preparing to go with the flow of the flood, because you're gonna have the setup. You're gonna have your sandbags there, right? So when the flood comes, it's gonna miss your house. It's gonna go all around your house instead of hitting it completely. There is a sense of preparedness. Either you guys did prepare in the past, and that's part of the reason why you guys aren't worried about this eventual thing that's gonna happen, or you guys are ready to prepare, you're going to prepare, and there's still time to prepare. So, it's no real skin off your back that something's gonna happen. You're not really too worried about it. Let me give you an example. Let's say all the bank failures have got, you got your eye on those bank failures that are happening. There's a lot of them. There were a bunch last year, the year before. It's like something economic. There is an economic turbulence that's coming our way. Everybody gets that bit of an inkling, and I think that is accurate. And there's nothing wrong with being prepared for it. And that could be the flood that we are talking about here. And then actually looking at Honey with the Skull and Crossbones, I think that is the people who did not prepare. The people who did not prepare, they lose the things that they like. If you're not prepared, then the hurricane, the flood will hit you, and it'll flood your fridge or flood your pantry, and your honey will go bad. So there is a sense of being prepared so that you don't lose the things that you think could be in danger when this eventuality comes in the future. Or maybe it's coming this week. But let's pull advice and see if you guys need to be so cautious, so wary, or if this is founded, if you guys should be preparing for this flood, because it is coming. Let's see what we get here for advice. Got some advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo? Any advice for Virgo? Wow. this is okay. So we got the High Priestess and the Lovers. It's really funny because the High Priestess is doing something very quietly, and the Lovers is your plans, is the plans that you're making for when something happens, the flood happens, and so when the flood happens, you've signed up for insurance, for flood insurance, right? When the flood happens, you have signed up for I don't know, you've already contracted the guy who's going to build the wall. What do you call those? The walls that protect from floods. There's actually a name for those, but I can't remember. But this is, make your plans quietly. You don't need to be a doomsdayer and advertise the fact that, you know, you're preparing for something that's coming that you have a feeling about. You don't need to do that. It's like, make your plans and follow through with them, because it is a good idea. But do it quietly, because maybe people will look at you weird. On the bottom, we have Two of Swords. People will kind of look at you like a bit of an eccentric, I think. We've got Two of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. It's almost like somebody who has too much money for their own good, who squanders it on things like a bomb shelter. Who squanders it on being way too overprepared because they're kind of expecting the worst. So just make your preparations quietly to yourself for this future flood. You don't need to tell anybody about it. You know, you just don't. That's what we get from the Oracle cards. By the way, if you guys are enjoying my videos, don't forget to check out Patreon. So I have a new service, just launched a Patreon account a couple of weeks ago, and I've got monthly readings. I love readings. So if you want to show your support for my channel, you want to support the work that I do, go ahead and check that out. Links are below and also on the profile. Any other advice here for Virgo signs? Okay. Whoa. All right. I'm getting a hoarding vibe now. Taurus. Taurus is food. Taurus is food and like the basic resources. Food, maybe soap, garbage bags, the stuff you need to survive is Taurus. Now, with the cave here, that's a hoarding vibe. That is, stock up for the flood. Whatever the metaphorical flood might be. It might not be a physical flood. Maybe it's an economic flood. Maybe it is a food shortage issue. But the flood is some sort of situation that comes in the future where you have very little control over what happens, so you prepare for it now, or you prepare for it this week. But this is hoarding. It's a bit of a hoarding vibe, but like I said, don't tell people about it because you'll look weird. They'll think you're weird, but really you guys are seeing something that they're not seeing, and it's a good idea. It's a good idea to be prepared, extra prepared right now. Yeah, because something is nagging at you. Look, we've got the Manticore and the number 7. The next couple cards I pulled here, it's like you have a sinking feeling. You have an itch in the back of your head, in the back of your, what's that saying? You have, something is nagging at you, that something's coming. And that is this. So, and you can't shake it. But it's because it's real. It's because you're picking up on something. 7 is a spiritual number, so it could be that your ancestors are trying to tell you something. It could be that your ancestors are literally poking you to try to get you to do this, because you're not wrong in that you're seeing something that might need to be prepared for. Right, I think that's all I got here. Virgos, that's going to be your reading. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to check out Patreon and subscribe to the channel. With that, I'll see you next time.